Creatures of the night, let's talk about Dynamite. It's interesting how we're all watching the same show and everybody's feeling different about the same thing we're watching. Everybody's interpreting things in different ways, and that's what make watching wrestling together fun. For me, for me, I do feel like, maybe there's no wrong way to feel about things. Everybody's gonna feel how they want to feel. It's really subjective. We're dealing with the aftermath of Dynasty, and I have been seeing for the past few days since Sunday people tearing up Tony Khan's asshole about the ending of the show for various different reasons. One, Swerve not winning that the title, and also the Young Bucks getting involved or whatnot. And here we are, Wednesday, Dynamite, and we're just like, all right, well, we'll see where this is going to go. So we start off with Moxley versus Shibata. It does seem kind of random at first, but Shibata, the Ops, they did come out playing Captain Save-A-Hose during the whole Mox and Swerve match or whatnot, because the Death Riders and all that was getting involved. So they were there. All right, great. Now, Shibata, I know, shouldn't have lost this easy to me with Moxley. Now, I get it, like, Moxley's a champion, so he's gonna always look great no matter who he's in a ring with. But I felt like this was just a little too easy for him to just beat Shibata. And it kind of felt like it was a little quick. Definitely, I would say under 10 minutes. Now, when he wins, the Young Bucks, they come on out. And they look horrible. The one of them looked darker than me. The people the tanning people over in AEW, I don't know what's going on over there. Now they come in there and they pretty much seeming to want to have an alliance with the Death Riders, basically saying what they did what they did because, Mox was their friend, and they even brought up Hangman being their friend and all that stuff. I was like, wait, hold on, didn't you, first of all, Moxley, I don't know if you're friends with them, but you did pretty much get rid of Hangman, right? So it just kind of seemed a little weird to me. And, Moxley's standing in front of them, but he's just like, I don't want to do anything with these losers. And then Marina comes and stand in front of Moxley. And Marina looked like, hey, I am ready to whoop both of y'all asses. But John Moxley's like, let's go. Let's leave these losers alone. Now, while they're over here talking, and I felt like they were trying to make sense of the situation, because I know a lot of people felt like it didn't necessarily make sense of them being involved and bringing up Moxley, bringing up Hangman, and how they used to be friends. But then here comes someone who used to be friends with them, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega came out with a good theme song. He comes out, he's wearing a hoodie, but he's wearing shorts. So we made up for him wearing the hoodie with seeing a lot of leg action from Kenny Omega, which we don't get often. And as much as I love Kenny, y'all know I love Kenny. We all love Kenny. I don't know anybody who don't. This was horrible. This was a horrible segment. Kenny comparing the Young Bucks to a friend of his who had two dogs that be shitting all over the house and nobody's cleaning up the shit at the house. So now he's telling his friend to come over to my house because I don't want to be in the stinking ass shitty house. Like, I was just like, Kenny, where's this going? Like, it got to the point where I was just like, just take the motherfucking sweater off and I could just watch your abs while I drown everything that you're saying, because I don't want to hear any of this shit, because it got horrible. The whole crowd is chanting Dookie, Dookie, and all this shit. I was just like, this is so cringy. For me, I don't think it really got anywhere in terms of the words, and then Kenny was just like, oh, well, he's gonna come in there and whoop their ass. I was like, you know what, good. Now you could find a reason to take that damn sweater off. Now he's going to the ring, but then we get O'Connor also coming out there, and then Swerve music hits, and the Swerve comes out there, and the Elite end up, switching gears and just like, forget it. And so it's just Prince Nana, Kenny Omega, and Swerve Strickland. Kenny, let me just say this. Prince Nana, if you're going to be showing up with Swerve, you better be ready to fight too. Because we at that time right now in AEW where you can't just keep popping up with Swerve. Be ready to fight. Come with a chair, come with a weapon, something. Don't come empty-handed and just swerving and driving and whatever the hell you're doing over there dancing. So for me, I felt like because of how people did not like how the pay-per-view ended. It should have been such a stronger segment to kind of to just get away from everyone feeling whatever they felt from Dynasty and just start this off on a better note. And I don't think they did that whatsoever. Now after this, Kenny Omega and Swerve, they're staring at each other, whatever. They look like they're going to join forces, but not necessarily be friends. Kenny ends up leaving the ring, and just as he's about to get to the back is when I start seeing him taking that sweater off, while the cameraman didn't even get a good shot. Oh my God. Anyway, so then, right when he's sitting there, someone attacks him, and it's Pac. We have Pac versus Swerve coming on next, and we're just like, hey, we're not going to wait. We're going to get straight into it, and they end up having their match. The match actually cuts really quickly. I'm telling you, Pac and Swerve, they started off really, really well, and Pac had this really nasty bruise on the side of his back, and then out of the blue, Pac gets hurt. Not sure how bad it is. Doctor checks up on him. Swerve just, ends up finishing this off with a Swerve stomp. It's ended really quickly, and the camera cuts away. We don't even see Pac at all from there. So I'm not necessarily sure what ended up happening, but I could tell that the match got cut off really early. The camera, not the camera, the commentary team are looking for stuff to say, and it's seeming to be a little slow after that, and they're trying to cut to different little things to talk about the show and the pay-per-view and all that. And I thought, okay, something is definitely going on. I don't know what's going on with Pac, but I hope he's okay. Now after this, we do have Hangman, who's about to get interviewed by Renee, but Hangman is walking straight past her because obviously nobody can stand her husband, and he goes into Swerve's locker room. Swerve is not there. Prince Nana is there, and he's looking for Swerve. He wants to talk to him. And, he goes on to say, look, I got a match for Owen, and I'm going against this wild card. I don't know who it is. All I'm saying is tell Swerve that at Dynasty I was trying to save his motherfucking ass, and that while I'm in the Owen, I don't want his ass getting involved in my match. And that's so interesting because not too long ago, you were willing to get in the way of Swerve winning that championship. Now the tables have turned. You don't want to lose your opportunity in the Owen. Very interesting, Hangman. Now, he also, he's talking to Nana, and Nana's just like, hey, I just want to apologize about what happened. And Hangman cuts him off right there. He's like, don't even go there. I'm not here to even talk about it. Don't even bring it up. He's talking about when Swerve and Prince Nana broke into his house and basically saying kumbaya to his baby while they was in the crib, whatever situation was. And he was just like, don't bring it up. Because he's obviously still upset about it. But he just wants Swerve to know, when I get in that ring for the Owen, don't bring a black ass out. Well, he didn't say that. Just don't get involved. All right, this one got me so upset. Oh my God. $400,000 is on the line. Some $400,000 explosive match, whatever. Stuff that Tony Khan just be making up in the middle of the night. It's Beast Mortos teaming up with Crew and Ricochet to go against Kevin Knight, Pastor Briscoe, Mike Bailey, and you guessed it, William Ospreay. Oh my God. Winner of the match, I guess they split in $400,000. To be honest with you, did I think that the love of my life, Beast Mortal, was going to go out there and win? No. When they mentioned that Will Ospreay was in this, to me, I was just like, it's fairly obvious what's going to happen here. They're not going to shock you and do exactly what everyone is thinking they won't do. And while I thought this was a fun matchup, the first thing I thought was they have nothing to do with Beast Mortos. Beast Mortos, ain't he in LFI? What the hell is going on with Beast Mortos? And he's over there in a team full of losers, and they're going against anything to do with Will Ospreay. How is he going to end up winning? Now, I try to put the biasness aside and enjoy the match, but when I seen that at the end that it was going to be Beast Mortos being the one to get pinned, oh my God. I was just like, wait a minute. You mean y'all not going to use Action Andretti? Leo Rush not going to get pinned? One of these two? Y'all going to pin fucking Beast Mortos? I couldn't even believe it. Beast Muertos, while I do feel a little biased about him or whatever, he has this aura about him that's supposed to be a beast. And I just feel like every time we see him, things are dwindling down in terms of where he fits in this company. And part of that has to do with this company always wanting to keeping the same people on top. It's always going to be Will Ospreay, no matter what the situation is. Then they're spending money to bring new people in to keep those people on top, and you keep pushing all the other people who have somewhat of credibility, who have been there for God knows how long, just so that y'all can keep the same people on top all year round, and next year, the next year after that. And for me, I feel like I don't see how a lot of people on this roster is going to grow. I cannot believe they pinned Beast Muertos. Hurt Syndicate celebration. I don't know what the fuck they're celebrating. Y'all beat Big Bill and Brian Keith. I could beat them too in a handicap match. I don't see what y'all celebrate about. Now they're in there. They got their little pictures and they got their little drinks that they're going to be drinking. And they're celebrating, I guess, them still being champion. I don't know. Here comes MJF, who comes on out there, and typically he always looked great with his suits, and tonight it wasn't giving what it always give. The crowd, they're chanting, he's our scumbag, and all that stuff, all the good stuff for MJF. MJF was just like, hey, I went out there, and if it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't have probably won because I'm the one who knocked out Big Bill. Sure, he knocked out Big Bill with the Dynamite ring. However, it was not Big Bill who was legal in the ring. It was Brian Keith, and they ended up taking the win in the ring with Brian. So it didn't really matter at that point. And Bobby is just like, look, I don't want this bitch in the group. And then Shelton, he put his thumbs to the side like this, and then he puts it down. He's like, no. And we do have MVP who wants him in the group, and he's cool with it. But MVP said, hey, it's gotta be 3 thumbs up if you're gonna be in the group. And they end up walking away, and that was it. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Like, nothing about this is entertaining yet. And I'm just like, I'm still going to wait on it. But tonight and so far what they've been doing, not necessarily there yet. There's going to be a payoff. We're just going to have to wait quite some time before we actually get to that point. Now, I don't remember exactly when they said this, but they did end up saying how Adam Copeland was injured and he'll be out indefinitely. Tony Schiavone tried to cut a promo on FTR on commentary. I was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody want to hear you talk about nothing. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's injured. I do feel like this is a time period where, he's going to be gone for a little bit, and then he's going to come back. And things are going to change for Adam, maybe even joining our stepdaddy. Whatever the situation it is, I'm not sure. But he's definitely taking time off. Now, we do have the women's in action. We have Chris Statlander versus Thunder Rosa for the quarterfinals for the Owen Hart Cup. In my opinion, I was looking at it like it didn't really matter for me. Even though I'm feeling both of these girls. I really like both of them. I feel like they both deserve opportunities to hold that title. However, there can only be one winner. Statlander ends up taking the win after they have a really great match. And I will kid you not, the way Thunder Rosa walks out that ring after that, if y'all go back and look at it, my heart just fucking dropped. I was just like, oh, like the thing is for me is there's a good amount of girls there. There's a good amount of stars between these girls. And it just seems like these girls are just there and that's it. And the opportunities aren't necessarily there. And I don't really know what can be done. Because like after this match, like we're not getting any other matches when it comes to the ladies. After this, they're ruined pretty much the whole vibe of the rest of the show with a whole segment for God knows how long of Chris Jericho. And to me, I'm just like, oh my God, the women, they're working hard. They're giving great matches. Women's wrestling is alive and well, but it could be better. if the girls had more opportunities to be on television, more opportunities to go for titles, and if it wasn't the same people, just like with the men's who are always on top, some of these girls can have bigger and better opportunities. And like I said, if you see how Thunder Rosa just left the ring, I was just like, oh my God. I just don't know if I personally could be happy just coasting on a roster as great as she is. Now, after this, we do have Uncle Don, who's back there with Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Oh my God, will somebody put these young men on a commercial for underwear or freaking perfume or something? When I told you they look so good, and Uncle Don is in the middle, and I was like, Don Callis, baby, I love you, but get your ass out the shot so I can see Takeshita and Fletcher. Lord have mercy. They looked amazing. Long story short, it basically, they didn't say it like this, but we're looking for new people in the Don Callis family. And I was just like, what the fuck? It seems like Brian Cage and Lance Archer are out. He doesn't say that, but if we were looking for new people and everything else ain't working out, then okay. And he basically says, send us a picture and send your bank account information. And I was like, well, Uncle Don, what happened? You didn't even leave the email for me to send my information to, since they're recruiting. Now, honestly, I'm just going to say it like this. Uncle Don, don't recruit anybody. Takeshita, Fletcher, that's all you need. They could even be a fucking team together, or they could do things singles. Honestly, I prefer them to do singles action. But whenever they need a team, they can do that. I don't think they should personally get anyone else to join the Don Callis family. After this, Adam Cole standing over there with his little replica belt on his shoulder. With Roderick and Kyle. Roderick and Kyle is basically saying how they're going to get gold of their own, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. Where the fuck is Matt Taven and Mike Bennett? So all of a sudden y'all forgot about them? Something about this is so fucking weird. I honestly don't know. Now things get weirder when it comes to Chris Jericho coming on out there. He has a whole learning tree set and in some like velvety looking suit, looking horrible as usual. And he talked about how he lost to Bandito. He lost his title. He lost his tooth, and fucking all hope is lost. Who gives a fuck? And then he called Big Bill and Brian Keith to come on out there. They come on out there. He said that that's his family, and basically telling them he's manipulating them, kind of saying how if it wasn't for them not stepping up and being there for him during his match, then he would have still be champion right now. I was like, bitch, they don't have to come out and do anything. They could have been tag team champions if your ass came out there to help them against Hurt Syndicate. But apparently, he doesn't see it this way. This whole thing is just absolutely nuts. He ends up taking a bat, breaking the TV on set. It's a good TV. That's a good TV. You know how many people would like a nice little TV like that in their house? He breaks it and ends up walking off, and people are singing and saying, what was they singing? Basically tell him to get the fuck up out of here or whatever. And some little kid ruined the whole thing, asking him for his autograph, and he actually stops and give it to them. And I was like, damn, that little kid done ruined the whole fucking vibe. They're singing for him to get the hell up out of here, and you asking for autographs? Will somebody come get their child? Honestly, none of this really matters because nobody cares. There's rumors about him going back to WWE. Whatever situation is, get this guy off of the camera. If he's doing stuff creatively speaking, making decisions for the show or whatever, I don't think he's even good at that. But at least he won't be on screen. I don't think he added anything to not one group. Learning Tree, JAS, Inner Circle, nothing that he has done. He has not added for any of these young stars that he's taken under them dusty ass wings. And so for me, good riddance, Chris Jericho. So now we do get a chance to see Hurt Syndicate backstage, and here is MJF who comes out there. He's really upset about how things went out in the ring, and I'm upset about it too because I'm bored as fuck at this point. And he is looking for a opportunity to work with them, and he's just like, man, do I look like a female doll to you? Then why y'all treating me like a punk bitch? And you know what? He's right. Like, MJF is not a bitch. Like, I don't like how y'all treating him. just either say no or just say yes. It looked like it's going to be this thing where he's going to be chasing their approval for quite some time before they actually give it to him. And honestly, I don't care anymore. Main event that honestly we didn't even need. It was already like, I don't know, less than 8 minutes left of the show before people started coming out for the main event. And I'm just like, it's going to be shit when they do stuff like this. Like, how do you treat a main event like this? I don't know. Hook teaming up with Samoa Joe to go against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. This doesn't scream main event to me whatsoever, but it looks like they're trying to push the whole ops thing. And for me, I just don't care. It doesn't appeal to me. The match is okay, definitely not main event worthy. If anything, I think I would have switched to have this start out the show and then have Moxley and Shibata end the show, because they would have given something much better, I believe, for a main event. And for whatever reason, they didn't do it like that. Now, towards the end of the match, we do have Moxley, who goes out there, who distracts the referee while Wheeler Yuta is, sure, cheating to get the win on Hook. Now, here comes Shibata, who comes on out there to take care of Jon Moxley. And somehow, some way, Hook hits the red rum on Wheeler Yuta for the win, which absolutely surprises me. You know what? Hook, I'm not going to get into it. Y'all know exactly how I feel about Hook, so I'm not going to get into it. So, after this, post-match, beatdown, everybody's getting into it. And Claudio does the Lord's work by hitting the neutralizer giving a neutralizer to Hook onto a chair. And I was just like, yes, thank you. That's all we needed from you, Claudio. That's all we needed. Taz over there on commentary got to do his job and sit his fat ass down and can't do anything about his son. Matter of fact, Samoa Joe was the one who looked concerned about Hook getting hurt. And he ends up getting on the mic, getting in front of the camera, calling out the Death Riders as they scurry through the crowd and saying that they're coming for the trios titles. And when Samoa Joe said that, not only did he say that, he got sweat and spit all over the camera, the microphone, everything, and then drowned the damn camera. And I was just like, holy shit, bro. He means business. He wants to get those titles. I don't see the ops of all people getting the trios titles off of the Dead Riders. I mean, Shibata, Samoa Joe, they're capable, but Hook being the fucking runt of the group, and I'm not saying that in any good way at all, I don't see them taking them titles off of the Death Riders anytime soon. If they do, something is wrong with that booking. Y'all, overall, the show was okay. I felt like it should have been stronger, especially that whole thing with Kenny and the Young Bucks and everything. That should have been stronger. And one of the reasons why people didn't want Jon Moxley to retain was because they were feeling bored with the Death Rider story. And the thing is that when you really look at how the show ended, it didn't end any differently than how it did the week before, a few months before. And it's just like, it almost feels like it's always the same thing going on every time we see them. And honestly, people need something fresh, something new. So when I see people angry about how things turned out, I totally don't blame them. It's feeling like we're seeing the same thing over and over again. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be doing a review on Ring of Honor tomorrow, so watch out for that. See you guys then. Bye.